thickening and rising, scalding me until I could barely breathe. I felt like prey being cornered, my body tensed with wariness, unable to relax for even a second. And the Crown Prince was relentless, giving me no room to resist at all. By the time it was over, I was so spent I couldn't lift a single finger. A man who'd just been thoroughly satisfied was a different creature entirely. After carrying me back from the tub, he actually produced a jar of medicinal balm and began to apply it to me.
Don't be like me! Replace your windshield fast! Get out of glass now! You asked for protein, and we went big.
Your Highness, the other places I can endure, but you're far too precious. There's no need to apply it all over for me. I truly used every last shred of strength to burrow into the blankets, curling up like a silkworm trying to escape. But the Crown Prince simply pressed one hand flat against my back, pinned me in place with his legs, and continued his work. Though I'd left the hot water, my soul felt like it was still stewing in it, probably boiled through by now. Since resistance was futile, I surrendered to my exhaustion, breathing in that faint medicinal scent, bitter and herbal like grass, yet cool and crisp like mint, and sank into a deep sleep. Perhaps it was the exhaustion, or perhaps it was that familiar scent of herbs, but I dreamed of the past. I suppose one could say the late Crown Princess and I were actually half-sisters. My mother never willingly became a kept woman, even after she had me. She never once abandoned the thought of leaving, but the little courtyard we lived in was always under strict watch. It wasn't until I turned 5 that a lavishly dressed noblewoman stormed into that yard. My father, standing before his rightful wife, insisted over and over that my mother had seduced him, and that he'd only kept us around out of pity for the child. My mother was sold off. She got exactly what she'd always wanted, to escape that prison of a courtyard. And as she left, she never once looked back at me. I, on the other hand, was sent behind another set of high walls, handed over to an old woman with a hoarse voice and a white veil covering her face. In that place, I had only one name, Medicine Vessel. Every single day, I was submerged in a barrel of medicinal herbs. Every inch of my skin would split open into raw, gaping cracks. The pain was excruciating, so agonizing that my screams came out like the wails of a vengeful ghost. Year after year, I became a hideous, scar-ridden monster, all for the sole purpose of reshaping my body into a vessel capable of bearing children for the Crown Prince, who had suffered from a congenital cold affliction since birth. Because my half-sister was the future Crown Princess, she needed heirs. But with her precious, delicate body, how could she ever endure such suffering? Then one day, a cool, soothing sensation spread over my burning wounds, bringing me a sliver of relief I hadn't felt in what felt like forever. It's useless. Tomorrow there'll be new cracks. I didn't want to know who was pitying me, so I didn't even open my eyes. My voice was weak, but flat and calm. Yet the hands applying the ointment didn't stop. They stubbornly continued, covering every wound they could see. A faint medicinal fragrance lingered in the air, bitter and herbal, with a sharp hint of mint mixed in. When I woke again, the sun was already high in the sky. I tried to get up, but my limbs were so weak they wouldn't obey me. I flopped around like a fish out of water for a moment before finally accepting reality. I couldn't move. Concubine, you're awake. Concubine. I blinked, genuinely taken aback. Given my status, being made a mere bed servant, or not given any title at all, would have been perfectly normal. The Crown Prince was generous, granting me the title of concubine. Why didn't you wake me? Since when is it acceptable for a concubine to still be in bed while the prince is already up? The prince instructed before he left that I must not disturb your rest. My lady. Shinger was young and obedient. She truly hadn't called me. I acknowledged this. Just then, I heard a commotion outside, as if many people were coming and going. What's going on out there? It's Eunuch Fu, who serves the prince. He said the prince's bedchamber is too far from his study, so he intends to rest directly at Cloud Willow Court during the midday break. He brought people to set up the study and some of the prince's everyday clothes. I was stunned for a moment. Was the prince planning to stay at Cloud Willow Court permanently? Even if this was all just for show, did he really need to sacrifice